Good morning. Good morning. Afternoon. I keep doing that.
Afternoon,
Good morning.
just
Hello.
I know. It's like we don't even know. Hi.
I don't know. Hello. Hi. Welcome to another episode of WTF Women Talking Facts. This is the weekly live where Michelle and I serve up to you our picks of the week's worst misogyny moments from across the world. We will dig into them, talk about why we hate them, and maybe have a bit of a laugh at their expense along the way, if appropriate. And really the intention is for it to be cathartic for us, cathartic for you, and really just to pass on the rage.
Yeah. We're angry. So yeah, might as well share it with others.
Yes. And we're never short of material. Because the men be menning, and some women. The patriarchy is patriarchying. Yeah. I don't know. Yeah. Whatever. Yeah. So I am Felice, founder of Loud Women. I am on a mission to encourage women to have all the audacity of a mediocre man, because I think women need to be in charge and we change the world when we raise our voices. So I do that mostly for women in their business, because if you can't shout about your business and talk about it with confidence, you are not going to be earning what you need, getting the right clients, and taking up the space that you quite rightly deserve. But I also do it in all other walks of life. Taking on misogyny. I just can't help it. And trying to impact as many women as possible and help them to break free from the cage that the patriarchy wants to keep them in. I'd make it very clear, I am not here for men. I'm not here for allyship. I am not here to educate men or bring them into the fold. I am here to shock women out of their internalized misogyny, because if there are enough of us that push back, the men won't have a fucking choice. That's my view anyway. So if as a man you don't like me, you don't like my tone, the way I say it, I don't care.
Yeah. And if you want to have a go, there is always Dickhead of the Week. So if you want to be shown up.
Yeah. Come and have a go if you think you're hard enough.
Oh, bless you. Oh, yes. You do make me giggle. So yeah, my name is Michelle Minikin. I am an organizational psychologist, coach, and author of the book Good Girl Deprogramming. So it looks at all of the ways that society keeps women and girls behaving through the use of various techniques of coercive control. So yeah, we're a right barrel of laughs, aren't we?
Except we are. We are really very funny. We're very funny. We make each other laugh. I think our sense of humor is definitely in the very dark depths of hell.
It's a trauma response.
It's a trauma response. But but I think the vibe is very much if we don't laugh, we'll cry. But obviously it's no surprise how we found each other. You know, we want to encourage women to behave badly. Because any woman who does not self-sacrifice, self-abandon, put everybody else's needs first, keep the peace, etc., is considered a bad woman.
It's insane.
Yes.
And so what I love, I have clients like, can you turn assertiveness up or a confidence up just a tiny bit? And they're like, oh, but what happens if I become arrogant? I'm like, dude. What happens if I become greedy?
Oh yeah,
entitled.
In the words of Spinal Tap, turn it up to 11.
Yeah, no, it's really interesting. Just all of the ways, and I get, I've written books about this stuff, and I still come up against all of the ways that we've been trained to be as palatable and unassuming and non-threatening as possible.
Yeah, it's really hard. I was literally just having that conversation with another woman this morning, that we are not immune as women to the conditioning of the patriarchy. And all the while we're unlearning and unpacking, we're getting fed this stuff every single day.
It feels like it is getting worse.
It is getting worse. By all measure and every piece of research, categorically states that it is getting worse. Yes.
My wonderful friend, coach, bookwing woman, Karen, you know, she says it's the dying gasp of the patriarchy, so it's going to get worse before it gets better. And I'm clinging on to that hope.
Yeah, I keep hearing a lot of people say that, and which makes sense because when we're seeing the divide, you know, we're seeing, yes, in some spaces and where there is still power, the kind of grip of control is tightening or is trying to. But the problem is women have risen to a point that they are not so easily, you know, oppressed and managed as
and we
much.
won't tolerate this.
And we don't tolerate it. And women have more choices now. Obviously, you know, they're trying to take those choices away.
Yeah.
But even in those spaces, there are good men as well, standing up. And I've got an example of one today. I've actually got a positive example of a Republican.
What the?
Never thought you'd see that happen, but yes.
You know, I keep agreeing with Nick Fuentes, so I'm finding that traumatic. And the other one, what's his name?
God.
Oh, the old dickhead. What's his name?
Piers Morgan.
But yes, him. He seems sensible sometimes. And the American guy, he's a podcast dude. He was like, I love Trump, and now he's like, maybe not. Yeah, I can't remember his name. It's Tucker Carlson. Tucker Carlson. No. There we go.
Do you know what? He's on my FAFO today because
Fine.
his sudden well, let's save it for when it comes up, but his sudden turnaround, I'm like, no, we don't get out of it that easily because you were a dick and I've got receipts. So
but sometimes I'm like, oh, I agree with him. But then Megyn Kelly's coming in and just being horrible. We see that in a minute as well. So yeah, fun times.
Yeah. I think we are. This is the thing. It's so bad that it's too much even for the people that are in, you know, I think it's become so extreme that he's alienated a whole bunch of his own followers. But let's not pretend that they weren't totally okay with everything else that happened up to this point. So,
yeah, up until the Pope. Yeah. So interestingly, I read
this until the Pope, yeah. Totally fine with the raping, with the accusations of child abuse, totally fine with the felonies, with inciting violence,
stock market manipulation,
and you know, election interference and all of this kind of stuff. Totally fine with all of that. But yeah, taking the piss out of or pretending to be God, being blasphemous, and now slating the Pope, that's too far.
And gas prices, we forget about gas prices. They've gone up, haven't they?
Yeah. They didn't draw the line in any of the other things, but staring a picture of him, depicting him as Jesus, and then having a pop at the Pope, that's where they draw the line. At least they drew the line somewhere, you know. Sometimes like we don't really care why you're on our side now. It's nice to have you.
No, it's insane. Phil's saying that we've lost sound, or whether, I don't know. Anyone else? Can you hear us? Again, seance. Is there anybody there?
Is this
okay, cool. Karen says it's fine. There we go.
Oh, okay. I think it's just you, Phil. We're not sure sometimes if LinkedIn is like censoring us, and I do swear a lot. Maybe I should try not to swear.
Well, we said this last week. We don't say the C word, and then we put a video on it. It's just like blip 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 C bomb. Like, okay, then we lied. We didn't realize.
I forgot she said it. And I was like, whoops. Yeah, it was literally like it was like almost like the first video that we showed about 2 minutes after I said, we never say the C word.
That's funny.
Well, to be fair, I wasn't wrong. We didn't say it.
It's true.
Yeah, she said it.
Not on this.
But yes, welcome everyone. Who do we have? We have two men.
We do.
We have James and Phil.
Mm-hmm.
This is like almost unheard of. We normally just get only women or the odd.
Well, no, Tom comes every now and again as well.
Yeah, Tom comes every now and then. But hey guys, look, Karen. Only just got the dickhead of the week tune out of my head.
Dickhead of the week. Dickhead of the week.
It's such an earworm.
It is. It's so good.
Yeah. Hey James. Hey Phil. Are those fish emoji? Are those yin yang? Is that yin yang?
Yeah. Yeah.
I ain't got my glasses on. It looks like
I enjoyed that. Like,
oh, I can't see.
All right, let's get crack-a-lacking, or we're going to be here all day dicking
Yeah.
around. So, weather this Friday? Go on, give us the weather.
It's sunny and hot, and I can't wait. I'm going out the second I'm done. I'm going to co-working in town.
Actually.
And then after co-working, I'm going to meet some friends down at the seafront for drinks.
Nice.
So I cannot wait. I'm going to be outside for a lot of the afternoon. What about you? What's it like up north?
My little brain's like, your friends aren't as good as me. Sorry. Yeah.
They're not.
So,
no.
Enjoy.
I don't think they'll see this. It's totally fine.
Okay, so it's cold in the house, which is weird because it's gonna be 17 degrees today, and I'm sitting here with a big jumper on. So
it's just cold in the house.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, it just hasn't warmed up yet. But it was freezing yesterday. It was like 10 degrees yesterday. But today it's 0% chance of rain, 5 knots / miles per hour of wind as well. So there's not even any wind. Weird.
No, it's beautiful. I'm literally sitting here staring out the window, and it's like completely blue sky.
Next Friday is going to be 19 degrees.
I know, we've got this like gorgeous sunny spell that's going to last for ages.
Nice. I should maybe get some.
Man, you've got warmer than me then, because next Friday we've got 16.
Yeah, 19 here, sunny. So yeah, 17.
It's
15.
not cool.
Yeah.
You have the cheaper house prices. The one thing that we have is hotter weather, and now you've got hotter weather than us.
This is the second time this year this has happened.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Okay,
you should just move up here. We've got beaches.
You have got beaches.
Beaches.
So if you're new here, if this is your first time coming to WTF, here's the quick format. Michelle and I bring 3 examples each, and then we talk about it and have a chat amongst ourselves. We encourage you can see the banner on the bottom. We encourage you to drop your comments in, as we're going through them. If there's anything you want to share, I just always have to remind you that when you're commenting on this, those are public comments on LinkedIn, so other people will see them. If you want to be able to comment and a bit more ragey, we are live over on YouTube at the Loud Women Club, where obviously you might be a bit more free. So it's entirely up to you if you want to skip over there, or just don't post anything that you wouldn't want other people seeing.
Cool.
And then towards the end, we have a section called FAFO, which we just like to balance things out a tiny bit by giving you some examples of people who got their comeuppance some way, shape or form, normally after doing something misogynistic or sexist or just terrible, because we are petty bitches and we like seeing people get a little bit calmer. And yeah, let's jump in. Let's get cracking with the first one. As always, Michelle, you go first. Which one do you want to talk about?
I have to look at it now. Tennis. We're going to talk about tennis first.
Oh, yeah.
Congratulations.
What's happening in this photo, Michelle?
The patriarchy is happening in this photo, Felice. So the women that you can barely see at the back did some good tennising, and this is the picture that was released with all of the men who didn't do the tennising at the front with Mr. Thumbs Up. I just was like, this is just sums up. Just
these women were at the White House. Is that the White House?
Yeah, I think so. Or whatever. It looks like St. Petersburg Palace or something equally gaudy. So it must be the White House.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So they were there to be honoured for their performance. And this is the photo that was taken to commemorate the event. Yeah. You could barely see them.
No.
When you sent it to me, I was like, I was like, what am I looking at? I don't understand what this photo is.
Yeah, and there's like, I just love the just insanity of the fact that the women are just stuck at the back because nobody
Didn't he
wants
do
to
that?
see them.
Didn't he do that? What was the there was what was the there was a football tournament. Was it a football tournament? Over in the US, and Trump took a picture with the players at the end, and he went like he stood in front of them.
Yes.
Was it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
he did that as well. He just likes to be thumbs up in the pictures.
It just and no, the photographer didn't kind of go, do you know what, guys? It's normally traditional for the people being honoured to be like front and centre of the image. They just went, no,
Not in his world.
Yeah. Let's hide the women at the back because they're not important in this event that was put on to honour them.
Yes.
They're not important, so we'll shove them in the back where you can't see them.
This is pictorially manspreading, even their stances. You know what I mean? I'm going to take up as much as room as possible. We're going to put the girlies at the back so I can't see them.
Yeah, maybe their hands are clasped there just to cover up the fact that they all have really tiny penises.
Yeah, I like the woman with a head sort of poking around the back of one of the men as well.
Hello.
Like, hello, we did the tennising. These fuckers don't. Yeah, insane. Nuts. Honestly,
he is an incredibly intelligent man. Some might say the most intelligent man, like the best man, and definitely the best president ever. So, of course, he deserves to be front and center and overshadow everybody else's achievements. If you listen to him. Do you know what? There's when I first heard that now is considered like basically a fuck you, I was a bit mad because I do like a thumbs up, but I also love that now you can do it with a different intention and be like, yeah, and I mean that. Just do it, yeah.
But yeah, I just thought it's just as an example of just random misogyny that we see just in the world.
It's crazy. It's crazy. God, why do we always do this? It's like the least worst. Just trying to think what is worse. Okay. I mean, it gives you a sense of what's coming up. So in South Carolina, a bill has gone through the first stage, and in it they want a total ban on all abortion, with no exceptions. So from conception, you won't be able to get one, and they've also, as part of the bill, they also want to change the law so that if an abortion is allowed, both parents have to agree. So I'm going to play the video, and this is what I'm saying about the Republicans. This man is a Republican, and this was what he said about this bill.
Associated with this. I don't want the party that I'm affiliated with to be associated with this. I'm embarrassed. We've jumped the shark on this. This is ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Eliminating the exceptions for rape and incest, forcing, even worse than that, Senator from Orangeburg, a rapist has the right to compel the woman to carry to term because this bill says that both parents have to agree before an abortion occurs. Women are not just simply vehicles or receptacles for children to be born. They're sentient human beings with rights. This amendment and the road we're going down ignores those rights. It is extremist, it is cruel, it is not reflective of what South Carolinians are, and it's not reflective of who I am, and I hope and I pray it's not reflective of what the Republican Party is.
What he said. Now, obviously, he has been supportive of a lot of restrictions to abortion rights up to this point, but this bit he takes exception to, and it's looking unlikely that even though it has passed through the first stage of this select committee, that only had one woman on it, by the way, it has gone through this first stage. but they're not sure if it's going to get enough support because he has to support it. So he's saying no. And in order to force a vote, there needs to be 2/3. And at the moment, they only have 6 out of 8. So it's not quite enough to force this to go through to another vote. But the idea that so if abortion is allowed to continue, they want to change the law so that women have to seek the permission of the other parent, the father, before they can have a termination. Which, of course, we know a lot of women seek abortion because their partner's violent. If they have been raped, we're in a situation now where, like he said, if a woman is raped and impregnated,
a child is raped and impregnated.
Yeah. The rapist can not agree to her having an abortion. And also they're trying to change the laws as well so that there is contact at any cost, so he can then claim parental responsibility and seek joint custody or even full custody of the child that was produced by rape. This is what they're creating in the US for that scenario to happen, and they're not doing anything about it. In fact, they just argue that, well, it's not the child's fault, and the man should be able to see his child even if he raped her. So I hope it gets blocked, but this is one state out of many that are trying to push through these bills. And also they want to criminalize. So they want to send women to prison for 2 years if they do have an abortion.
Yeah.
So there's just a whole mess of stuff. They just
interestingly, the single, we say this a lot though, don't we? The single cause of maternal death is men killing
in
women.
America. Yeah.
So this is just going to increase that.
Yeah, because there's a lot of women that will have a termination in order to escape a violent relationship. Or the violence only shows up when the woman finds out that she's pregnant.
Yeah.
Which is a pattern that we've seen. And the leading cause of maternal death of pregnant women in the US is being murdered by her intimate partner. Like, let that fucking sink in for a second. Like, more than anything else, more than preeclampsia or high blood pressure or any of the other complications you can get that are life-threatening through pregnancy, being murdered by your partner is the number one killer of pregnant women.
In the UK, actually, I remember when I was pregnant with Oliver, the midwife had to have a conversation with me just to check that I wasn't at risk of being murdered by Oliver's dad. Sometimes.
Yeah, it's fun, isn't it? Okay. Told you it's going to be a doozy, guys.
Yeah.
Where we go next?
Let's do Russell Brand, because frequent flyer and all that.
Oh, Jesus. Yes.
Jesus. He is not.
No, he is not.
Europe and in the United Kingdom, where I'm from, the age of consent is 16, and I did sleep with a 16-year-old when I was 30. But when I was 30, I was a very different person. I was a lot younger, and I was an immature 30-year-old. Consensual sex, actually, with a variety of people, when there is a strong power differential, as there is when you're a famous man that has the ability to attract women that I had at that time, I think involves exploitation. I think it is exploitative. I recognize that my sexual conduct in the past was selfish and I did not apply enough consideration, barely any, I suppose, really, to how that sex was affecting other people.
How that rape. Honestly, he's on a fucking sane washing. He is on this. He's written a book, How to Become a Christian in 7 whole fucking days.
Yeah.
And he's just Christian washing. That's what I was looking for. Christian washing all of his terrible behavior.
Yep.
I would quite happily push that man off a cliff. I think I'd take one for the team on that one,
Yeah, everything about these clips is, I mean, obviously, yes, he's being ripped to pieces, thank God. But there's a lot of people that are like, he didn't do anything wrong. It was
because
legal.
it's technically legal, it doesn't mean that it's morally right.
Yeah. And he's not acknowledging that it was wrong either.
No.
He's talking a little bit about the power difference and the fact that he's like, I was a very immature 30-year-old. I'm like, I don't think we should use that as an excuse.
Yeah.
If you're 17, 18, 19 and you say you're an immature, because being immature doesn't prevent you from understanding right or wrong.
No.
It's as a 30-year-old man, even if a 16-year-old is throwing themselves at you and is saying, I want you, make love to me right now, you have to be the one to say no. You have to be the one to say no, because 16-year-olds are immature. They are the ones that aren't capable of making decisions like this. And the way we allow men to get to grown fucking adulthood and still act like little boys is like, that needs to change. That we cannot accept I was immature as an excuse.
It's insane. It is absolutely insane. And you kind of look back to your teenage years and all of the grown-ass men that were trying to hang around with you as well.
It's just gross. It's just gross. And the thing is, though, that a lot of the men that are out here going, we didn't do anything wrong. I'm like, if that 16-year-old was your daughter and some 30-year-old was hanging around her, you would have a very different opinion about the right and wrongness of it all. But let's be honest. If you are having to cite the age of consent,
you've done wrong.
You've already lost. And let's also not pretend that if the age of consent wasn't younger, that they wouldn't go younger.
Exactly.
Yeah. A grown man in his 30s, 40s, who is willing to have sex with a 16-year-old girl would go younger if it was legal. And some of them probably have, even though it's not legal. A lot of men would go younger if the age of consent was lower.
Yeah. So James he's admitting to this to distract from worse crimes he's committed. Oops.
Oh yeah, I mean he's facing charges of sexual assault right now. That's all happening. He's been arrested for that, and then more accusations have come forward. So, but this is what they do, isn't it?
So it's like, yes, because I didn't even focus at all on, consent or their pleasure, or I just took what I wanted from these children.
Yeah.
Because
let's not pretend to
wrote a book about it. Like, fuck off.
A 16-year-old might be over the age of consent, but they are not an adult. They are a child in the eyes of the law.
Mm-hmm.
They are not an adult yet. Oh, it's just so gross. So gross. And the fact that he's using religion as a shield, and he's like, oh, I confess my sins to God, therefore I'm clean, I get to start again, which I do understand the premise of religion, but there has to be atonement and there has to be genuine
regret and apologies and making up for what you've done.
No, you can't just go, oh, I did some bad shit, but now I'm a Christian, so like that all just disappears. It's not how the law works. The law would disagree. But it makes me wonder if there's more to come. There's more accusations to come.
He's just trying to, he's just trying to sell his shite.
And and people like Megyn Kelly, really, nobody needs to be platforming this man. He is a predator.
Well, Megyn Kelly, actually, because she's a frequent flyer on this show too.
Yes. Yeah. A betrayer of women. Okay. Right. Where are we going next?
One of yours, babe.
Yeah. I just realised I don't have 3 because I had the Russell Brand as well.
Oh, well.
That's okay.
It's all right.
We are going to go.
Cool.
This was a horrific story. So I don't know if you followed this. Not been that well publicized.
No.
So this guy, he's a singer, fairly well known, up and comer. Last year, the body of a 14-year-old girl was found in the trunk of his car. He claimed to have no knowledge of it whatsoever. The story went was that somebody stole his car, killed this girl, and shoved her in the back of the car. He had no knowledge of it. Turns out he was in a relationship with this 14-year-old girl. Had been in a relationship with her for quite a while.
Yeah.
So obviously the story started to not make sense. And let me just read some of the other charges. So in September, the body was found, set after what prosecutors called a brutal and horrific murder. He's also been charged with murder for financial gain and with murdering a witness to an investigation. So it looks like this 14-year-old girl had instigated some kind of investigations against him.
Mm-hmm.
So the story goes, or the assumption is, he murdered her to shut her up. So not only did he have a relationship with a sexual relationship with a child, when she quite rightly reported him, he murdered her quite brutally and shoved her in the back of his car, and then obviously denied all knowledge about it and tried to say that somebody else had done it. But it's taken since September for them to arrest him,
which is insane.
Yeah, considering they knew then that he'd had a relationship with her. So I don't understand why it took them so long. But when I tell you the number of people that came out and defended him at the time and said that he had nothing to do with it and he was innocent and he's such a nice guy, and and he's literally only just been arrested. I'm like, how is that possible? How is that possible? He's only just been arrested.
Oh, and the victim blaming of the victim.
Oh, yeah. What was she doing? Going to see him? What was she doing? Have a relationship? Which 14. 14.
Yeah, we did some stupid shit when we were 14.
Again, the adults have to be the adults, not the children. Children do stupid shit. Like, we know this.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
No, it's just, yeah. I just don't understand why it's taken this long.
No, me neither.
Were they busy, maybe? Were they busy? Were the police busy arresting all of the Epstein people? I don't know. No, they weren't doing that.
No, they weren't doing that either. Yeah, so I don't know what took so long. Hopefully he faces justice. But that's a 14-year-old girl, who has lost her life. When we say it's, I think that with the Russell Brand thing, and there are so many men right now who have accusations against them, and people tell us that we're being overly dramatic and it's only a tiny minority, and
Oh, you can tell us about your investigative work.
Oh, I could do. Yeah. Okay. Let's finish off with that one. All right.
So I had to subscribe to the New York Times, didn't pay any money on a free trial to read this one. Then I might have done. No, I'm not going to admit to any copyright infringements. But holy shit, right? So this started as a completely fringe, random, crazy belief that we should, in America, yet again, and what we don't understand in the UK is that what happens in America, we like to follow trends, and the Americans who are funding this shit tend to want to fund shit in the UK. We've talked about this before. Abortion rights has become this hot topic. Anyway, So there's this weird pastor, one of many, in Arizona, and the women are like, I'm going to wear a print, like a little handkerchief on my head to remind me to submit to my husband and to not run my mouth off. That was a term in there. It's to remind her to not run her mouth off. And to trust that the husband is leading the family, and they should repeal this 19th Amendment, which is the right for women to vote in the US, because the pretty much all of society's problems, all of them, are nothing to do with the fact the world is run by dark money, pedophiles, war, pestilence, famine, greed. No, it's women having a say, and women being able to vote. This is the ills. So apparently this was a fringe thing, but it is gaining momentum.
It is.
Yeah.
Well, it was written into Project 2025.
Yeah.
And a lot of male podcasters, especially those in right-wing Christian, conservative Christian
We've got one of them coming up soon. Fun
and the
times.
mega churches, yes, they are calling for the same thing. Well, they some of them are not explicitly saying we should take women's right to vote away. They're saying we should move to a single vote, single household vote. So
if you're not married, your dad will be able to vote for you.
Yeah.
It's insane. So it's just insane.
And there's a lot of women that agree, and women shouldn't be able to. Like Pearl was one of the first women that was on that.
Oh, I haven't heard from her for ages.
Yeah, she has gone a bit quiet. Well, I think she had that disastrous debate with. Who's the journalist? I can't remember her name for the life of me, but the one that said I think she kind of exploded onto our feeds where she did that kind of rant about, I don't care what your Bible says. I can't remember her name. She's anyway, American journalist, and they had a debate, and she owned Pearl. Like Pearl tried to use her usual tricks, and this woman was like, absolutely not. And since then, she's been a little bit quiet.
Mm-hmm.
So it's always the thing. I struggle a little bit because I'm like, often these women are being coerced and controlled into these situations. So often these women are the victims, but I still get pissed at them for playing into that and being the foot soldiers of the patriarchy and doing their dirty work for them.
So an assistant pastor in this church, 29-year-old Corbin Clark, says politics by nature is warlike. Women weren't made for battle. They were made for love. They were made for beauty. And his wife, 5 years older than him, quickly agreed, God designed it that way. You know what's really interesting about that? It's not true. You look at all of the, we're now challenging the assumption that all of the people we have dug up from the olden days with like warlike memorabilia, we just assumed they were all dudes. They're not. It's about 50-50. 50-50 dudes, 50-50 chicks. I don't know why I went down that route, but there we go. And it's like, it's not true.
Yeah, it's been disproven. I mean, recently, I think a new research paper, more research came out in 2020 that re-looked at all of the previous analysis. And obviously, now that we've got better DNA sequencing, a lot of the bodies that they dug up that they had assumed were male purely because they were buried with tools and spears and things and weapons. So it must be a man. So they made an initial judgment right at the beginning based off of gender bias, and then basically built all of their thinking off of very shaky foundations. And then when they went back and looked at everything, they said, they
We're
weren't
wrong.
there was just as many women. Not only that, they found that women actually genetically were better hunters than the men of the time. And they absolutely did not stop hunting when they had babies on their backs or breastfeeding or any of that stuff. I wrote a post about it, about basically saying that the one of the fundamental pillars of the patriarchy is built on a lie.
Yeah, it's all lies.
We all hunted and gathered and nurtured and took care of each other and the children and old people, and so we all did it. There was never this divide. And some man popped into my comments to go, fueling the gender divide that we're all suffering from. Well done. And I said, thank you so much. I do try. But again, it's like, how does this harm you? Me sharing this really interesting piece of research that just disproved that men hunted and women stayed home back in the cave days. Like, why does this trick you? How is that fueling the gender divide by me saying, guess what? It's not true.
Yeah,
it's not true. And here's the research and the facts. Like, it's not true. Isn't that cool and interesting?
No,
and
you're just a mean harpy. That's what you got called this week, wasn't it?
Hateful
harpy.
Oh my God, we actually haven't shared it yet, have we?
No, we haven't. Go on.
Do we do it?
We've done we. Felice has taken upon herself to do all of the hard work for this, and for which I will be endlessly grateful.
To be fair, AI did most of it. Yeah. So it must have been about a year ago. We got someone called us feminist maniacs on one of our videos. And we had a little joke and saying, oh my God, that would be like, if we had a girl band, we should absolutely call ourselves feminist maniacs. And so then we had other comments come in. So I think we got we got called Misandress. So we were like, okay, album number 1, the Misandress. So we just kept this bit going for a little while.
Yeah.
And then a few months ago, somebody commented saying, I'll leave you to your hysterical screeching. So we were like, album number 2, hysterical screeching. So just like having a little bit of fun with it. And then before Christmas, I went to ChatGPT and I got ChatGPT to mock up like our band pictures and album covers.
You did it here. You were here.
Yeah, I was with you. And we were just like, just
that's
pissing
hilarious.
Ourselves. Yeah, just a little joke amongst ourselves. And then we were like, what if we actually created this fake band and actually created songs and put it on Spotify and did all of this stuff, knowing full well that we were never going to do it. But anyway, thanks to a total hyperfixation stay.
Somebody said this week called you being a hateful harpy, and that was it. Band.
That was it.
Album
I think
3.
Yeah. So I'm going to unveil to all of you for the first time the official website of the Feminist Maniacs.
Yep.
So we have our band shop. There's a description here of what this is about. Basically, after years of us being called this, we decided we would just create a silly fake band page. There is a note on here to say everything on here is made with AI. The images, the copy, the website was made with Claude. Just generated all of this HTML for me. It was brilliant. And then we have our discography. So we have album number 1, album number 2.
Tiny arms.
We tried to get ChatGPT to fix it, but it just kept coming out.
It was funnier this way. Hysterical Screeching is my favorite band. Yeah. And then this week's was the last one, Hateful Harpies. And these are all like MAGA men with like, I'm a nice guy and stuff written on their t-shirts. But the best bit, we have 3 songs. Yeah. Oliver's face. I waited until he was in the car to send him the feministmaniacs.com web domain. And he was like, his cringed. So it tells me that we did the right thing.
It's brilliant. So again, I'll just play you one of the songs.
Yeah. You called it overreacting. I call it paying attention. You said I was too yeah, and your point is mad woman energy, mad woman.
Okay, so if you this website is fully live, it's public. If you want to go and have a look, it's feministmaniacs.com. I was actually kind of surprised that the domain was available. Like, I would have thought somebody would have snapped that up.
I was looking at t-shirt printers this week as well. So like, how do we actually, I want a Hateful Harpies hoodie. That's what I want.
Yes. So I think, yeah, so we're thinking like actually start almost promoting it like it's a real band. But you know, this may be as far as we ever get because we're fucking busy and we say we're going to do shit and then we don't do it. But
we got much further than we expected to.
Those things are on SoundCloud. Feminist Maniacs has a profile. At some point, I will get around to uploading them to Spotify, and then maybe adding them as a sound onto TikTok so people can use the songs, use the music. So, yes, that's. Sometimes we say to ourselves, like, you know what? I don't know why we don't earn, like, we should earn more money because of how awesome we are. And then when this is what we spend our time doing, this is why.
Yeah.
That wouldn't have it any other way. So yes, you all got first glimpse, premiered launch of feministmaniacs.com, our band.
And Kathleen wants in as well, so apparently she can sing.
If you need a better singer. Yes, I mean, obviously, you know, this is all AI generated and fully appreciate that. You know, AI art isn't actually art, but then this wasn't for art's sake. This was very much satire, and taking the piss out of the men that call us names in a slightly more unique way. We just thought, let's have some fun with it. But if you want to do it for free, because we haven't got anybody to pay for it, Claude did it for free, Sino did it for free. Then yes, maybe we can have like some special guests. You know. Guest artists on some of the next singles.
Yeah, hilarious.
But yeah, if you want to hear any more singles, let us know. If you want to look at the title of the tracks and let us know which one you want to hear from next, we will make some more. Okay, it's time for FAFO. It is time for FAFO. Okay, you stuck with us. These have been horrific.
Look, everybody's singing. This is great. This is great. We've got the whole band here with me with my little drumsticks and my teeny tiny arms. So yeah, great.
And also, Feminist Maniacs is gender neutral, so we can have some fellas in there as well. Yeah. Okay. Right. FAFO number 1.
To refrain from attacking religious leaders.
If you don't know who Pete Hegseth is, he is the director of war now, they're calling it, aren't they?
Oh.
In the US. He's
a
terrible
drunken former Fox TV host who is effectively head of the military in the US because we are living in the stupidest fucking timeline. Somebody said that we're living in the Biff timeline, you know, from Back to the Future.
Yeah.
I think we are.
And this guy on the far right is his spiritual advisor, and he has shared some pretty extreme views about women that Pete Hegseth has liked and reposted. Parroted. And this is him getting his ass handed to him on the Piers Morgan show.
But we were supposed to refrain from attacking religious leaders.
I have no problem attacking
you attacked the Pope.
Well, I have no problem. Listen, real quick, Pastor. I have no problem attacking wolves in sheep's clothing. I have no problem attacking a man who wrote that American slavery was mutually harmonious between the slave master and the slave. That's you. I have no problem attacking a man who proudly says he wants to do away with the 19th Amendment, which gave women the right to vote. I have no problem attacking a man like yourself who sits here incoherently supporting an incoherent, unwinnable, illegal war in Iran. I have no problem attacking you, a man who's the religious leader of Pete Hegseth, a man who's a cosplay crusader, who's was leading some type of crusade, probably you put him on, as a Secretary of Defense, getting Americans and innocent civilians killed. I wish you would be a better Christian. I wish you would open up the Bible. I wish you would meet the Jesus that I met when I went to an all-boys Jesuit Catholic high school. The Jesus that took care of the sick, that took care of the poor, that welcomed the immigrant, that welcomed the marginalized, that helped them. But instead, you've used Jesus as a mascot for, I don't know, your white Christian supremacy, your cruelty, your misogyny. And I'm so glad that people are finally waking up to your cruelty and to the idiocy of your star disciple, Pete Hegseth, who keeps messing up and literally does not read the Bible and quotes Pulp Fiction. Just sit with them. Maybe both of you could read the Constitution, read the Bible, and just take a break, Pastor. Just take a break.
Yeah.
Do less.
Yeah,
All right, Pastor, your response.
Just incidentally, we know that Jesus was not a socialist because he could actually feed people.
Wonderful. Great response.
I just love to see it.
Yeah,
I love to see it.
It's his like sneering.
Yeah,
You know,
I think that the Pulp Fiction thing that was just a cherry on the top.
we are in
Cherry on the top.
idiocracy. We really are.
Yeah.
It's just not real.
Well, did you see the clip of RFK talking about percentages? So there's a clip.
Did you even go to fucking school?
He's in the White House and he's talking about a 600% decrease in the price of drugs. And when someone challenged him and said, I actually don't think that's possible, he said, oh my God, yes, it is. He said, if something costs $100 and then you raise it to $600, that's a 600% increase. So if something's $600 and you reduce it to $100, that's a 600% decrease. And he is dying on that hill. I've seen him repeat it in another room as well. It's just, and then he started to say, well, you know, Donald Trump, there's two ways to calculate percentages.
No, there fucking isn't. You absolute idiot.
He's literally trying to rewrite the rules of maths now. And I just can't believe that these are the men. Those are the men, supposedly the best and brightest in the world, being put in positions of running like the most powerful government in the entire world. And they could you imagine if a woman stood up and said that?
With a whole chest.
I don't care what party she's in, she would be hounded out by everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely everybody would say, get out, she's ridiculous. These men just say the most ridiculous things. Pete Hegseth is, quoting the
absolute fucking moron.
Fiction, saying it's from the Bible. And he's obviously never read the Bible.
Or watched Pulp Fiction.
Yeah, I wonder if Quentin Tarantino can go after him for some kind of copyright.
Probably.
Yeah, or whoever owns the rights to the script. They're just allowed to be idiots every day and just get away with it. And everyone's like, yeah, totally fine. You go ahead, keep running the country. Anyway, yes, seeing him, I actually don't know who that other man is that was reading the Riot Act, but I love him.
Yeah, me too.
Not like that, because ew. But in that moment, I was like, yeah, you can stay.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, and then the second one, Tucker Carlson, again another right-wing pastor of a the mega church, isn't he? He's another one of these mega churches.
He's the publisher of the book according to Russell Brand.
Oh yes, so Russell Brand's book. So Tucker Carlson's church now has a bookshop where they are publishing their own books, and his whole thing is like to get around the left woke censors. So you can just imagine what those books are about. But he was slightly regretful this week. So let's just show the video.
I and everyone else who supported him, you wrote speeches for him, I campaigned for him. I mean, we're implicated in this for sure. Yes. It's not enough to say, well, I changed my mind, or like, oh, this is bad, I'm out. It's like in very small ways, but in real ways, you and me and millions of people like us are the reason this is happening right now. Yes. We'll be tormented by it for a long time. I will be. And I want to say I'm sorry for misleading people. It was not intentional.
Yes, it was fucking intentional.
Yeah, so let's have a look, because it wasn't just that he endorsed Trump. It's not like he was out there going, oh, vote Trump, and that's all he did. So this clip is from last year.
Leadership leads to violence, and you see it. It's Winnie Mandela, man. It's really the Bolsheviks' wives were more bloodthirsty than they were. I don't know exactly what that is. I think weak male leadership incites something in women that's really dark. That's not their fault. That's men's fault. Men's job is to lead. You can't shirk that duty because it's not created by man. It's pre-existent.
Well, they found in studies in Total War, like women commit way more war crimes than men.
There's something about female leadership that gets you very quickly to violence. And you see it in the support for the Ukraine war, which is like the murder of an entire country's male population.
And now, though, a bunch of European countries are doing female conscription. I wonder if combat is going to get the women to not be for war.
I wonder why you would even bother with a civilization if you're sending your women to fight wars. I don't understand. Just give up at that point.
Well, it's like Ursula von der Leyen. No.
You only have a military to protect your women. That's the point. There's only one reason, and that's to protect.
Anyway, that's enough.
All of that is nonsense. Every single bit of it.
Regardless of whether he supported Trump or not, he has been a very, very toxic individual in his own right. He said far worse things than what he just said in that little clip, by the way. But that was just the only one I could find on my laptop because I'm pretty sure I deleted all the others.
So the women are starting. Name one woman.
Oh, well, his argument for why women should be leaders is that women are more violent and we'll get more wars if women are in charge. But he also, he buys into the whole women should be virgins and, it's natural for men to want to sleep with teenagers and, just all of it. So Tucker Carlson, we do not accept your apology because you supporting Trump was not the worst thing you did.
Nope.
And you supporting Trump didn't make you say all of those other things that you've been saying for the past 4 years. So
Joe Rogan's basically said, "Oh, I wish we hadn't have done that as well."
I don't care. Fuck off.
No, you did.
I don't care, but you did. And again, there's other people that have supported Trump that didn't also go out there and just be a completely horrible, toxic, bigoted, misogynistic piece of shit on a daily basis.
Yeah.
Those people, maybe, I'll accept their apology. I didn't think we were going to get this. I'm really sorry. Okay, cool. But people like him, no.
It's like, of course, we got this. He was telling us who he was the entire time.
Yeah, we know.
34 felonies, adjudicated rapist, and we're surprised he's a dickhead.
But also, I'm not even sure what this, when he says what we have now, we've created this. I'm not even sure what specifically he's referring to.
High guys prices and being mean to the Pope, probably not the random.
Yeah, because that seems to be the only thing that has tipped the scales for some of these.
I think it's the Lego videos. I think it's the Lego videos.
I'm like, cry to your fucking mama, Tucker Carlson, because we don't care.
No,
you will have to live with this for the rest of your life, and I hope you feel bad. So, that's it.
We're ending surprisingly angry. We're supposed to have had the FAFO.
I think. Well, obviously there was quite a lot of rage already there. I don't think two little examples of men getting their comeuppance a teeny bit was enough to get rid of all the rage.
That's what it might be.
But we are due to finish exactly at 1 o'clock. Exactly now, 1 o'clock now, that feels good.
Cool.
So we
have a lovely weekend.
Feel good about that. Yeah. All right. Thanks, everyone. Thanks for joining in. Thanks for all your comments. We are back next week at same time, 12 o'clock. And all the misogynistic men out there.
Yes.
And I really mean it. Really mean it. 2 very enthusiastic thumbs up at you all. And to everyone else, bye.
Bye.